Peace. Good morning. How y'all feeling today? That's how I'm starting my morning off. A little late. I didn't take it. I usually take it first thing in the morning. The parasite cleanse. Kaleido Silver. You see, I'm actually putting in some work over here. Let me see, make sure y'all can hear me. Good morning, good morning. Hopefully y'all can hear me loud and clear. I just disconnected my Bluetooth. I keep failing with these earphones. I just can't get the earphone thing down pat. I keep buying them, and none of them actually are pretty much working for me. But yeah, today, good morning. It's Thursday, May 14th. I wanted to come on here and just speak about a couple things. You see my shirt, don't give up. So yesterday, I actually forgot it was B Rich birthday, right? I had made a post about it. I was writing my date down on the calendar. Yesterday I was like 85. And today, day 86, being sober. I'm coming up on my 3 months. And it's a good feeling. It's a real good feeling to, to not have no desires. To not have the anxiety and the fear to want to escape. So I think that's a blessing. I'm grateful for that. So I called a couple people yesterday. I'm just want to say thank you to everyone that was able to show up for the brunch for Be Rich yesterday. That was a beautiful thing, just for the family, to come back and just spend some time. Especially after Mother's Day, anyone that's losing a child, just to have the friends of being mindful of the friends, or actually keeps his memory alive, or her memory alive. So yesterday was really good, and people were thanking me, for trying to organize something like that. But I can't take credit for that. I can't take credit. For being a friend for somebody, being a friend of somebody who was actually a really good friend to me. That's some normal things that we should be doing for people. So I don't want the credit. B did that. When I didn't have things, B looked out for me. And B would also remind me that he didn't forget. Because people forget. We do tend to forget about people that look out for you during the times, during whatever times you're going through. We get busy and we forget about the people that actually made sure you was all right. It was times I didn't have food, and B made sure that I ate, and always reminded me that he never forgot. And he would say that, people forgot. They forget, but I didn't. Me looking out for being vice versa. So it's important that the years when people go, that for me, it's important that I still, show up for the family. Because we get busy, Wednesday, that was short notice. Like I said, I seen it in the morning. I looked on the calendar. Oh, shit, I totally forgot. Peace. I totally forgot because there was so much going on, so I'm like, what can I do today? Because the year before that, the same thing, we had a brunch for Be Rich. So that was like around 3 o'clock. I was able to, It wasn't 3 o'clock. So that was like 9 o'clock in the morning when I got out my morning meeting. So I called Miss Richardson to see where they there. And then I started making phone calls to everyone. I know people are busy, and it was a last minute thing. But a lot of people were able to show up. So the family is forever grateful, you know. Never about me, you know. I don't want credit for anything. I'm just a friend. You know, no praise is needed because B was a friend of me. So we sometimes, you know, we kind of do things and want credit. But when it's truly a friend of yours, you should want to do things just, you know, just because of who you are and who the person was, and to keep their memory alive. So I really enjoyed that. You know, that's a last minute thing. You know, you can tell people things months in advance, and then they still don't show up. So it's like for me to try to organize something yesterday morning and for it to come together was a blessing. It was beauty. It was a beautiful thing, you know, because we get busy. Oftentimes people get busy, and I don't hold no resentments or no grudges for the people that can't make it or couldn't make it because it was last minute. I'm just thankful for the people that had the time to show up because it's important. It's a good service. Just a good feeling to still be around B with all these different connections that he had and how we all came together at certain times because of B. So, I mean, I think that that's very important that we try to keep memories alive, and it's just a good feeling, man. It feels like he's right there with us. So, you know, I kind of, and it's right back to the point. Today I felt I had to come on here and do a quick video. Because I think at first I kind of misspoke when I wasn't sure, when I thought something happened with B, and even though I was in contact with him the whole time and up until that event happened with him and the uncertainty, and I actually spoke because I thought I knew, you know, and then there was other circumstances around his death. So I think I spoke too soon, and you know I know I did a video with clarifying it, but sometimes it's better not to say anything. You know, it's better not to say anything because people are going to say whatever. When somebody dies, they're always going to. It's always going to be things, speculations. People are going to say things, just have their opinion without even having no fact. You know, you could say, oh, well, somebody died when they're young. It's always somebody could have died from drugs. And then it's always this one person that know that this person was doing something. It's always that one person that know the person was doing something or so-called. And that's, you know, that takes me back to a time when my sister died. Everybody was having a conversation around Cynthia's death. They said she was a drug addict. They said my sister was doing drugs, right? And I was like the last person to hear about it. All these people around me, nobody's saying. They talking private, quiet. You know, and like I said before, my sister actually died from complications of taking birth control pills because she was anemic. Peace, my brother. You know, so she actually had a stroke from taking birth control pills. And that's one of the symptoms, one of the side effects of taking birth controls. So, but they were saying that she was on drugs, that she was doing coke. She was doing a lot of coke, da-da-da-da-da. And these are things that, you know, people tarnish people. And it, you know, the lie always travels faster than the truth. And by the time the truth comes, the lie has already destroyed something. And, you know, so I'm just saying be mindful of information that you hear. You know, where are you hearing it from and why people are so quick to always say something negative about someone, even when they're gone and they can't defend themselves. You know, I learned about my cousin Lori. I learned about her passing Monday night, but really it was like Tuesday. Shout out to Kid Wonder. You know, Tuesday morning, and I was like still kind of processing it. You know, I'm still processing it, but it made me think about one of the last things Now Love said to me before he died was to look after Lori, make sure she all right. We was in the last time me and him actually had a fight with some people. We were in the Cameo, and Lori got in it. She got into a fight or something. She was arguing with somebody in there, and it was me and him. So we was in there banging out, and I was like, damn. At that point, I was still mad at Lori because her and Corinne used to always go out. They used to always go out. You know, but ever since then, man, Lori she held my hand when I lost my mom. She was right there, you know, every second. Every time I turn around, she's right there. She wasn't there, Kwame was right there. So it kind of hits different, you know. I'm just thankful to be sober today, you know, so we could go through these experiences with a new light, and to not want to go to alcohol, to not want to escape, you know, and just face things head on. So that's a lot in a couple of days, you know. And then if people were to say things now, we got to just defend people, basically. I'm going to continue to speak up, you know, for people when they're not here. I've been doing it the whole time. Man, that's not going to change. You know, with the side conversations, it's terrible. It's just like, you know, people want to say things negative. They always going to say things negative. Like I said, even with Be Rich, that's why I was like, damn, I think I spoke too soon, but I knew that he was going through something in those days. And Be Rich's last word to me that make sure nothing happened to him. You know, yo, make sure nothing happened to me. And I'm just sitting here like, B, I was so tired. I was so tired. I could have basically got up, right? This is Friday night, and I was actually off that Saturday. So I have to, in my head, go through it over and over again like, damn, I should have just got up and went to go check on B, right? Self don't let nothing happen to me. To the extent where I didn't know that he was actually going through a problem. You know what I'm saying? Even though he called, you know, Talib, he was with Talib for a minute, and Talib called me and told me B was bugging. You know, and I was like, but it wasn't to the extent of finding out the whole story and us being tired. We get busy and, you know, like, oh man, I can't deal with B tonight. I'll talk to B in the morning. And then you wake up and then B is no longer here. So that's something that I have to deal with every day. You know, we get busy, right? People get busy. And I felt like, you know, so sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish I would have just went to go check on B that night. I didn't know that it was people there that, you know, were around him that could have did something to him. So I just told him he'll be all right, you know, and I gave him my word that he would be all right. And it just so happened he died, you know, or they did something to him. So I have to think about that every day. But yesterday was Kev, what's up, brother? You know, yesterday was actually a beautiful day. Just trying to stay positive, do positive things for people, man. You know, I really enjoyed the gathering, the brunch for B. The food was good, you know, but it was more about just the connection, keeping that connection alive. That's all we could do, you know. I can't beat myself over it. B's not here. Lori's not here. And, you know, like she held my hand through some things. And I actually, when Quadri died, she wanted to, she had volunteered to help do the decorations. But shout out to Nikki. Nikki had, you know, hooked up the hall and everything. But Lori was also going through something at that time. And you know what? I knew about it, but I totally forgot. Once Quadri passed away, I totally forgot that Lori was going through something at that time. And it took to today, we even just to resurface, like, damn, I totally forgot. Because like I said, I lost last year. I lost the whole year. The whole year I was actually not here. I was physically here, and but I wasn't present. You know, mentally I was not here. So you might have seen me places, like you could see a lot of people say, damn, yeah, you were really, drinking, drugging, doing whatever to try to escape the inescapable, right? Because we're going to have to face it. Whatever we're going through, we're definitely going to have to face it eventually. So that's my message, man. I feel blessed to be sober today because I could be present. I'm able to show up, and I'm going to encourage people to try to face whatever they're going through. And the best encouragement is to actually, to the action of showing, of doing something that seems like it's impossible to do during times of grief. It's just staying sober. Because the day of my mom's funeral, that's the first day I didn't drink at all. I didn't have a drink. I was so shocked. I was pretty much done. Nobody found me either. I hid. After the funeral, I hid. I went to sleep in my man's backyard. I stayed there by myself. Nobody found me. I was preparing myself. I'm not beating... Yeah. Stop beating yourself up. Now, I'm not beating myself up. I'm just reflecting. Because Kev, you my man. Shout out to Kev, man. He's doing great work in the community. And I'm happy to be a friend of Kev's. Kev also came to me when I lost Quadre. And we've been friends ever since. So knowing people that's going through things similar to you, it's so much easier than someone just telling you they know how you feel and never been through anything. So shout out to Kevin Dunbar, man. Shout out to Sterling. I see him watching. I'm still waiting on that picture, man, from the balloon release, brother. Shout out to Sterling, man, for showing up as well, man. We need support at these times, I'm not beating myself up. I feel good, actually. But yeah, so my point is, a lot of people are going to say things about people that you love. It's going to upset you. And they should be, make sure that we're going to keep their memory positive no matter what. And I know sometimes we're going to get angry and want to just punch somebody in the face. You just be talking crazy about my peoples. And I know something happened, with Mike B. Rich. So I definitely spoke too soon. I didn't know that he was pretty much murdered. So I have to live with that one, but I did apologize. And so doing something nice, it's a blessing to still have friends, man. I'm gonna be your friend whether you living or not. And I'm giving Lori her flowers because she was right there with me when I got through one of the hardest times, burying my mom, man. So I'm going to give her flowers now, and I'm going to give her flowers later, too. So, so just my message for the day is just be grateful that we're still here. And keep our peoples high up in their memories. And, Lori is beautiful. B was... B, that's my man. B was crazy. B was wild. B had like the road rage that was so crazy. His road rage was just like out of control. And Lori, that's like the only person ever. She had a car in my name, right? She had went out and bought a car. And when she lived in Brighton Arms, she went out and got a car with her boyfriend. Neither one of them had a license, but she asked me. So she had a car in my name for like 2 years without having a license. And thankfully, nothing ever happened. But that's the type of love we had, and the trust I had for her. So, yeah, that's just a whole different, it's a whole different type of love and trust when you would do something like that for somebody. Yeah, this is a short video. Kev, the end of the month, my celebration, man. Today is day 86. And my 91st 90 days will be on Tuesday. I look forward to it, but my celebration is on my 100th day. So it's a blessing to be sober. It's a blessing for the support. I'm grateful to be here and to be of service, man. Tuesday, you guys missed the Good Grievance Group. The grievance groups are always wonderful. It's just when you're ready, your doors will be open. it's better to talk about things. It's easier to release them, and you know, you can start healing. You start freeing yourself for the, from your burdens and, resentments and things once you start to talk about them. Keep secret, stay sick. That's one of the messages I got today. And my morning meeting. Because we hold on to things, and those things that we're holding on to is keeping us sick. And that's a good message for the day. It's time to release things. And I'll say stay protected. And you guys have a wonderful Thursday. Peace and love.